Hello, my name is not important. This is about the end of the world. It started like all diseases do. First it was one person, then a few hundred. The news called it mad cow disease. It wasn't very contagious, just really nasty. Symptoms were aggression, uncontrollable rage, foaming at the mouth, the works. But the worst part was, you didn't die. You were infected for life. I remember when the first cases popped up in the UK. At the time I was working as a vet in a small village on the outskirts of London. One day we got a phone call from the Ministry of Agriculture. They told us to come in early the next morning and bring every cow on our client's land. By the end of that day, 180,000 cows were dead. No kidding. They burned the carcasses where they lay. Couldn't save them. There was nothing to be done. And so it went on. Sheep, pigs, chickens, anything that ate grass or grain or fruit, anything that walked, ran, or flew. Even pets. The government tried to keep it quiet at first, but when the body count rose into the millions, they had to tell people something. They said the disease came from contaminated food, mainly beef. They shut down farms and slaughterhouses. They set up task forces to hunt infected animals down, but it was too late. It was everywhere. The infected animals didn't seem to feel pain. They didn't bleed much. If they did, their blood was a funny color. Black, I think. They also didn't seem to get tired. They kept moving, shambling forward, driven by some dark force. It hit people next. The first case was a farmer in Cumbria. He'd been bitten by a sheep he'd been trying to put down. It took 2 weeks for him to turn. They gave the experts time to prepare. They quarantined his farm. They tested his blood, set up observation posts, armed the police, trained the media. He turned 2 days before his test results came back. When they did, the experts were happy. They found antibodies. They could develop a vaccine. They could stop it in its tracks. But there was one problem. The virus mutated constantly, which is why it jumped species so easily. Every time they created a vaccine, it was too late. The next variant had already appeared. The next case was a vet in Devon. She'd been treating the farmer. She turned while on call. The disease spread quickly after that. People were turning in the streets, in their homes, at work, everywhere. We were overrun in a week. My wife and I spent the last of our savings to flee to the countryside. There were roadblocks everywhere, infected people rampaging through the towns. I mean, what else can you do? When we finally got out of the city, it was to a ghost town. It was like everyone had vanished. But we found a farmhouse and settled in. My wife went into town to look for supplies. She didn't come back. I never saw her again. I don't want to go into details, but I saw things no one should ever see. People who'd been dead for weeks, maybe months, shambling through the streets. Animals too. Cows in the fields, pigs in the sty, chickens in the coop. They were all infected. Sometimes I heard gunshots. Sometimes I saw helicopters overhead, always searching, always looking for survivors. But there weren't any. I was alone. I am alone. The infected kept coming, drawn to the farmhouse like flies to a flame. Sometimes I could reason with them, calm them down, get them to leave. But sometimes they just wanted to tear the place down. Spent my days barricading windows, patching roofs, gathering supplies. Spent my nights praying for a miracle, hoping for dawn. But every dawn brought the same terror, the same hunger, the same desire to rip me apart. They never stopped coming. In the end, I ran out of supplies. Then I ran out of hope. Then I ran out of time. And that's how the world ended. There's nothing left now. It's gone. Burned away. There's nothing left but ash. This world is dead. Long live the king.